place, facilitated by the charity, the Franco-British Council, and the meetings took place in the ambassador's residence in Paris, at which they decided what the British Strategic Defence Review was going to do. It was all decided behind closed doors before Cameron was even in power, and that was why he'd been in power a matter of weeks, and suddenly this 50-year partnership was announced. Well, when was the planning for that? Well, the planning was done behind closed doors. It was never discussed with the British public, and it was never discussed in Westminster. So the key bit is that the British military is being cut and cut and cut so that we are automatically dependent on the other countries. They knew they wouldn't get us into bed with the Germans. There's still too much feeling about Germany. So they've used the French as being a nation that we can sort of tolerate. But it's all about locking us into a one supranational military. Cameron, all he talks about really is war. You know, he's there boasting that they did Libya when he took other MPs around his residence. This was reported in the national papers. He stopped by a map and said, well, more or less, this is the world. We've done Libya. Where shall we invade next? And that was reported mainstream press. Is this man a psychopath? Well, he's got attributes. And war with Iran cannot be ruled out. So if you look at it with a common sense view, it does not make sense that this man would be saying we need to cut the military at the same time as he's talking about the risk of future conflicts. But if you know that what's going on here is to do with a world global agenda, meanwhile he wants to smash this country apart, it makes absolute sense. And what does it do? It brings back the bodies. And the statistic that's never properly come out is that for every body that comes back, there's between 4 and 6 seriously injured people. So, you know, the moment Afghanistan and Iraq is basically has been a sausage machine to create casualties. And I believe that they want some of those casualties because I believe they are using the wounded for experiments with prosthetics. This is, of course, when we're seeing the breakup of the country. So we don't have any debate in Westminster about what should happen with Scotland. Mr. Cameron just goes north of the border and sits down, and it's all going to be organised. So this is the key thing